Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. I'm here today with, yikes, a very late February book budget and book haul review. I started doing this in January of this year because one of my 2023 reading goals is to budget my spending on books. I do have a pretty hefty budget, I would say, but I do try to spend less than my budget, and also the books that I sell on Facebook or on my Pingo or at Half Price Books or wherever else in my area that I can sell used books at, that money that I get for those books also goes into this budget. So in January, just to give a recap, I spent $203, but I made $380 on selling books, so I actually made profit in January. In February, that is very much not the case. I did spend beneath less than $150, barely, but I did also spend $403 on books. So we're gonna go into some more details. I do have all the books that I got in February behind me. We'll do a quick book haul. I'm not gonna talk about the books other than maybe their genre, so it'll just be a very quick, fast-paced book haul. But I do want to show y'all the books that I got in February. I blame part of the spending on the fact that it was Valentine's Day in February, and even though that holiday might not have been created with single Pringles like myself in mind, I do like to treat myself on that day, so I did purchase some books. So that's definitely part of why there was some bigger spending chunks kind of right after another, because I used that holiday as an excuse to buy some books. Anyway, let's go over a quick overview of the exact details of what I spent and how much I made back from selling my books. So in February, my spending max was $150. I spent $403.52, yikes, but I made $254.74 from selling my books. So the total number that I spent in February is $148.78. Like I said earlier, very much on the cusp of my budget max, but I didn't go over, and that's what counts. So anyway, I did sell quite a few books again this month. I had a really long list last month, but this was my unhaul list. It's this little section right here, and it was pretty nice. So I did sell a lot of books, thankfully, through Pango and Facebook and bringing hauls into Half Price, etc, etc. So this is my little spending haul bundle. So we'll go into all the details. I'll share the exact dollar number that I spent on every book back here, as well as my subscriptions. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it. So first up, I'll go through my subscriptions and share what the cost of all of them were. Anyway, not all of these boxes have come yet, but they are going to be on their way to me soon in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. So first, I had my Dark and Quirky subscription. I am a part of their Dark and Quirky, just regular subscription box, which is 4 new hardcovers, special edition hardcovers signed every quarter of the year. So my subscription for that did renew, and I paid $43.70. My Kindle Unlimited subscription also renewed, and that was $10.66. My Audible subscription was $15.96. And then my last subscription was for Bell Book Box, and that price did go up a little bit from what it was before, and so the new cost for that is $63.99. Thankfully, that subscription is only every other month. So I'm paying $32 a month pretty much, I guess, for Bell Book Box, but you just get billed bi-monthly. So not too bad. I have been so in love with their books so far that I've gotten from them, and I'm excited for the next box that is shipping as soon as the boxes arrive to the company in a couple of days or weeks. So yeah, those were the subscriptions that I had this month. Moving on to the book haul with all the books that are behind me. You can't see a lot of them, but they are here. Mostly romance, again, as per usual with me nowadays. Although this first one is not a romance. But I got a used copy of Anatomy by Dana Schwartz for $9.16. I got this. I will just go ahead and talk about this book really fast because I was meeting the author for a class credit thing. She came to Parnassus Books, which is near where I live, and she just became a New York Times bestselling author like an hour before the event, which is really cool. So I got to meet her and hear more about this book as well as the sequel, which I haven't read yet, either of these ones, but yeah, I did get this one in preparation for that. Not that I ever got around to reading it, but it's fine. So this is the first book that I got for $9.16. Next, I got The Idea of You by Robin Lee for $7.74. I've just heard that this one is Harry Styles fan fiction, and although I'm not a huge fan of Harry Styles, just like music-wise, I did kind of want to read this book, so here I am. I am very much in like a sad reading mood currently, and although nothing has made me cry, I did also buy Underneath the Sycamore Tree by B. Celeste in hopes that when I do read it, I will cry. And I spent $12.65 on a used copy of this book from Pango as well. So for all three of these books have been from Pango. I don't know if I mentioned that about The Idea of You. And then I also did like a little Valentine's Day book haul because, you know, treat myself. So for that, I got Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, Before We Were Strangers, and Swear on This Life by Renee Carlino, both of which people told me would make me cry, which is why I got them on Valentine's Day, naturally. And then I also got The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, which I've heard is really good. And for these 4 books, I spent $45.90. Additionally, for Valentine's Day, I got 2 more books off Pango, which were Serenading Heartbreak by Ella Fields and Say When by Micaiah Smeltzer, and I spent $25.75 on these 2 books. I also did a silly little thing and spent $29.49 on a single book, but it was a special edition of Brutal Obsession, which is a hockey romance that I'll be reading for a video soon, and I've heard it's so good. I have only heard good things about this book, and the special edition is stunning. She is a chonk, but I'm so excited to read this one and tab it all up because I think it's going to be so much fun. I also got New Moon from Pango for $7.75. I got this one to complete my hardback collection of the Twilight series. Not that I ever finished the series. I like stopped, I DNF'd the last book. I don't really know if it was like a real DNF though, because I was in early high school and I just a lot of times never finished my books back then, but I want to read them again, and I have the rest in hardback that I found for super cheap at a used bookstore a couple months ago, so I got this one as well to finish off that set. I also spent 99 cents on an ebook of Crybaby by Monica James and somebody else. Don't know what this book is about, but it's a dark romance, so I wanted it. And then I also spent, I keep saying also because I keep having more books to show y'all. I spent $36 on books 6 through 13 in the A Series of Unfortunate Events series. I'm doing a reread of this series very slowly. It's one of my favorite series from early high school, and I really wanted to reread them and own them all finally, so I bought the 6th through the 13th book when they were all bundled together on Pango for pretty cheap. I also spent $28 on a special edition of a book of a hockey romance by C.E. Ricky that hasn't shipped yet. If I can find the picture, I'll put it here, but if not, it's a romance called Iced Out, which I'll have like the regular copy of here. But yeah, I got a special edition of that that should be shipping in a couple of weeks, or maybe even a couple of days. It was set to ship in March, and it's like middle of March. So I spent $28 on that special edition. We're getting to the end, thankfully. I missed one. I'll have to go back in a second. I spent $13.59 on Radiant Sin by Katie Roberts. I love the Dark Olympus series, so I needed to get the new one. I also got Hooked by Emily McIntyre. Spent no money on this because I had a gift card for it, which was lovely. And I also got Him by Sarita Bowen and Elle Kennedy for $9.65 on Pango. I've already read this book 2 times, but this edition of it, like the abs cover, is out of print, I believe, in the paperback, so I got it for cheap on Pango when I saw that it popped up. And then two more little stacks. I got 3 books from half price one day for $34.91, which doesn't make sense because these books were not that expensive. What else did I buy that day? There's no way that these 3 books cost $34.91. I'm gonna have to go back and check, but according to my phone says that I spent $34 on these 3 books, which I don't think I did. But for right now, I'll just go ahead and say that it was $34.91 for this little bundle of books. And I will, yeah, maybe include a little clip later, or I'll just like put the real price in text right here if that ends up being wrong, because that does not seem right for half price. But I also got Survival of the Richest, The Evolution of Man by Skye Warren, this little duet, and then Broken Beginnings by J.L. Beck and C. Hallman, which is signed, which is partly why I bought it, because I haven't read this series, but I've heard really good things. So I got it. And then finally, I had a Barnes & Noble gift card. And so I got 2 books online from Barnes & Noble. One I got Offside by Avery Keelan, which is a hockey romance. And I also got Don't You Dare by C.E. Ritchie. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, I apologize, which is an MM romance. And I spent $7.36 on these 2 books because I had a gift card again. So that was very, very nice. Those are all of the books that I got in February. Definitely more than January, and I'll have that book budget and haul linked above. If you haven't already seen it, definitely got more books this month, but that's okay. I had a great time hauling these, and I'm really excited to do my this month budget, which is March. I'm excited to film and talk about the books that I got this month when we've reached the end of the month. So far, still on track to spend less than $150 on books in March, so that's really good. Fingers crossed I can keep that up. But yes, those are all the books that I got in February. Again, I spent, yikes, $403.52, but I made back $254.74, meaning that I spent $148.78 in February, which might be wrong depending on if this haul of the half price books is correct or not, because I feel like that's not right. So I'm gonna go confirm that. Okay, so as I got up to go grab my webcam for my live sprints in a second, I remembered that the day that I went to half price and got these 3 books right here that you can't even see, the Skye Warren and Broken Beginnings books. Sorry, I'm trying to like squat down so y'all can see me. I also got books 1 and 2 in the A Series of Unfortunate Events series. Again, I didn't want to bring all those books with me, so I didn't. But I did get those 2 books at the same time, which is why my total was $34 or almost $35. So that definitely makes a lot more sense. I do remember buying those books now. So that number is correct. I did not mess up in that way, so that's good, but also sad because, you know, money spent, but it's fine. I have no regrets. I have no regrets. Book buying is a hobby. So yes, that is correct. Anyway, back to the regular video. I must run again. I'll say it again in a minute, but I'm supposed to be doing live sprints right now, so I must go. I'll talk to y'all later or in a second when we go back to when I just filmed a couple of minutes ago or whatever. I don't know. Goodbye. But I'm hosting some reading sprints on my channel in like 3 minutes, so I need to run. So yeah, that is all that I have for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.